Gurudev Prabhupada, Gurudev Prabhupada.
Jaya Gurudev Prabhupada, Gurudev Prabhupada, Gurudev.
Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtotra Shrimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Maharaj Ki.
Jai
Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtotra Shrimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki.
Jai
Gaudiya Vaishnava Vrinda Ki.
Jai
Acharya Das Thakur Ki.
Jai
से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री द्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की
Jai
गो प्रेमानंदे
Hari Bol.
assembled devotees, all goddesses assembled devotees, all goddesses assembled with Guru.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Naranam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tado jayamudiraye nashtaprayesha bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtigi krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandaya
Nandanaaya cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo.
Nama Pangajanaabhaya, Nama Pangajamaline, Nama Pangajanetraya, Namaste Pangajangre, Mugam Garodi Vachalam, Pangam Langayade Girim,
Kruvasmaham Vande
Yatravande,
Pranamayantamam.
Sri Chaitanya Mishram, Paramanandamadhavam. Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Gita, as it is, chapter 15, the yoga of the Supreme Person, and today's verses 6, 7, and 8. Verse 6 will recite now. Na tad bhasayade suryo na shashango na pavagam yaggatva na nivartande tad dhama paramam mamam. Na tad bhasayade suryo na shashango na pavagam yaggatva na nivartande tad dhama paramam mamam. न तद्भासेदे सूर्यो न शशांको न पावगा यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धामा परमं मम. Yes, Katyani Maji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Na tatvasayade suryo na sashanko na pavakaha yadgatva na nivartande tadhama paramam mama. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hey, Bol. Vaikri Maji.
Vaikiri Mataji എവിടെ പോയി?
Engaged. Seva. Okay. Snigdha Maji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Na tad bhashayate suryo na shashanko na pavakah tad tad yatva na nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right. Vaikri Maji.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Na tad vasayade suryo na shashanko na pavaga yad gatva na nivartande taddatma paramam mama. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Rekha Maji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Krishna. Good.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
After class. Anyway, you come. Anyway, I'll come.
Yes, Prabhu. I am not well, Prabhu. That's why, Prabhu.
I wanted so many days, somehow or another, and couldn't make it. But today,
Yes,
definitely.
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu. Shall I render, Prabhu?
Yes.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Na tat bhashayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yat gatva na nivartante tattama paramam mama. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Damaji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
No, no, not that Vasayate illuminates Surya, sun, no, nor Sasankaha, the moon, no, nor Pavakaha, the
Pavak.
fire
Pavak.
Pavakaha, fire electricity, tat where Gatva, going, no, never, Nivartante, comes back, Tadhama, that abode, Paramam, supreme, Mama, my. Meaning, that abode of mine is not illuminated by the sun or moon, nor by electricity. One who reaches it never returns to this material world. Hare Krishna.
Okay, right. Verse 7. Mame vamsho jiva loge jiva bhuta sanatanam manashashthanindriyani pragadisthani karshadi. Mame vamsho jiva loge jiva bhuta sanatanam manashashthanindriyani pragadisthani karshadi. Mame vamsho jiva loge jiva bhuta sanatanam मनषष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति. Yes, Kapyanemaji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mamaivamsyo Jivaloke Jivabhutah Sanatanaha Manasrashtandriyani Praktistani Karshadi. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Right, Vaikari. Right. Yes, Vaikari.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mamaivaamsho jivaloke jivabuddha sanadana manashashtanindriyani prakrtisthani karshadi. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Snigdhamaji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Mamevansa jivo loke jivo bhutah sanatanaha manah saschanindriyani prakrtisthani karsati. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Right. Arekamaji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Mamayavamsho jive loko jiva bhutaha sanatanaha manaha shashtanindriyani prakrti sthani karshati. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Every and
Okay, Prabhu. Mama, my, Eva, certainly, Amshaha, fragmental particles, Jiva Loke, world of conditional life, Jiva Bhutaha, the conditioned living entities, Sanatanaha, eternal, Manaha, mind, Shashtani, six, Indriyani, senses, Prakriti, material nature, Sthani, situated, Karshati, struggling hard. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with six senses, which include the mind. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Right. Text 8. Shariram yadavapnodi yacchabi ukramadishram gritvetani samyadi vayurgandhani vashayat. Shariram yadavapnodi yacchabi ukramadishram gritvetani samyadi vayurgandhani vashayat. Shariram yadavapnodi yacchavi utkramadishvaram gritvedani samyadi vayurgandha vinashaya. Yes, Katyanimaji.
Idam Yadava Yachabhyasamadisharaha Yajidaitai Samyati Vayubhyandani Vasaya. Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna. Vaikrimaji. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shariram yadavapnodi yachachutkramadishara गृहीद्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात्. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Snigdhamaji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Sariram yad apnoti yad chaptuktamatishwarah gruhitve tani samyati mayurgandha nivashayat. Hare Krishna.
Right. Yes, Rekamaji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Shariram yad apnoti yacchapi utkramatishwarah gritha vata nishamyati vayur gandhan ivashayat. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Snigdhamaji.
Sariram, body, yat as much as avapnoti gets, yat that which, cha also, api virtually, utkramati gives up, Ishwaraha, the Lord of the body, grahitva, taking etani, all these, samyati, goes away, vayu, air, gandha, smell, eva, like, asyat yat, from the flower. Meaning, the living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another as the air carries aromas. Hare Krishna.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakhaya Chakshurunmelidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthavidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagada Mahyam Dadadi Swapadandiyam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uda Padagamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunadanvidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Sadhu Harijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pad Shisha Danvidam Sam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabando Jagalpade Gopesha Gopiga Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpadrubhischa Kriva Sindhubi Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namam Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhi Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare न तद्भासयते सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम That abode of mine is not illuminated by the sun or moon, nor by electricity. One who reaches it never returns to this material world. Hare Krishna. So Krishna has described in the previous verse the qualities of a person who has attained his Dharma. And Nirmana Moha, one who is prideless, humility. Jita Sangadosha, one is given association of the modes of material nature, as well as those who are having these modes, association persons who are in the modes. Of course, everyone is in the modes. So it's always better to associate with devotees only. That is the meaning. Jita Sangadosha. Sangadosha. Sangha, two types of association is there. One, our own association modes we have to overcome. Yes. And then we have to give up the association of the persons who are in the modes, which generally most of the people are. Even our close relatives also are always in the modes. Maybe they may be in the Sattva-guna, mode of goodness. But ultimately, our aim is to get out of this mode completely. like Krishna advises in 2.45 to Arjuna, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhava Arjuna. You have to give up all three good. So it may be, it may look very strange when you say that you have to, have a relationship with you, even with the close relatives, in such a way that you are not closely associating with them, in the sense that you are not influenced by their thoughts or their words, or coming under their influence, acting on their influence. That we have to be very careful. In the family, of course, we have to deal with them. We have to be with them only. But our life, our devotion life, whatever we are doing, whatever sadhana we are doing, we have to be very firm on that. One should not be dictated by those who are not devotees, because they are always acting on their moods. You have to understand that everyone, nanya be kartaram yada drishtani pashyani, nanya gunebhyascha kartaram yada drashtani pashyani. Everything, every object, every person, everything in this material world is under gunas. So we don't harbor any ill feeling to these people, all those people who are in gunas, because everyone, us, even including us also, are in gunas. And we know that associating with these gunas will be detrimental. It's not beneficial. It's not good for our spiritual progress. That's why Krishna says Jida Sangha Dosha. A person who have surpassed this association, he is eligible. Why? How so? Adhyatma Nitya, because he's always engaged in the spiritual life. He is very active in his spiritual life. Nitya. Adhyatma means Adhyatma, pertaining to the Atma. Adhyatma means pertaining to Atma. So daily you have to have this. So we are very fortunately, people in ISKCON are very fortunate, because their daily life or daily routine is very much planned by Srila Prabhupada. He has given us very nice daily schedule, what to do, what time, right from the time you get up in the morning to the time you retire to bed. So much, it's packed with very nice devotional services. We need to follow that, then we can be free from this. Vinivritta Kama, naturally, people who are in spiritual life, they'll be ending all their desires, material desires. Of course, many may be playing in the mind also, but ultimately, like Krishna says, Udasinavat asino, you have to be indifferent to these dictates of the mind. And then there vimukta, then there is connected by impressions. That is our likes and dislikes. That is the most dangerous thing. We know that is most dangerous. Always people, we are always under likes and dislikes. Something we like, something we don't like. Because of our dislikes and likes, our tolerance will come down. Suppose there are some pests in your house. They are creating trouble, no doubt. Of course, no doubt they are creating trouble. And you want to get rid of them. You don't like this and you want to get rid of them. Then you forget that these pests are also living beings, and because of karma only, they have got this body. Since our tolerance level is low, we don't think twice on our act if we want to get rid of this pests. This happens. You have some experience in that, Signa Maji, Rekha Maji?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
yes, Prabhuji,
Yes,
once I asked you regarding this, what to do. Once I asked you, Prabhuji, you remember or not regarding this?
We have to find out some ways to do that, but killing is too much, too bad. Because they are living beings.
But what about Prabhu for mosquito and all?
Okay.
Mosquitoes. So many mosquitoes there. So we have to kill, otherwise it will cause diseases also.
Mosquitoes, of course, they are very aggressive. They are biting us also. So in that way, you can get rid of them. Srila Prabhupada, once he was retiring for bed, they were having mosquito net. But somehow the one mosquito came inside, entered this nest, the mosquito net. And Srila Prabhupada, for 10 minutes, he searched out that mosquito, then he killed it.
Hare Krishna.
So
And cockroaches also.
things like that bite us, they give us problem. Like snakes, like for example, snakes.
Yes,
Srimad
Prabhu.
Bhagavatam says that even the sages, very sagely persons, they're very happy when a snake is killed. Srimad Bhagavatam, in 2 places you can find this. But other than that, other things which really don't hurt us, in a sense, it doesn't harm us. We have to be very careful that because it is due to our intolerance, due to our dandwas, likes and dislikes. That's the way you have to progress spiritually. You have to understand, because we don't, why? Because we are not tolerant, because we have intense likes and dislikes. That is the reason. So, Sukadukha Samne Gacchantya Amudha. Amudha means one who is totally surrendered, unbewildered. Unbewildered person is always the surrendered devotee. Amudha means not bewildered, person who is not bewildered. And the person who is not bewildered is devotee only. Others are all bewildered. Padamavyam. Then Krishna says, which is this pada? My only, mama dhama. Nadad bhasede suryo na shashango na pavagaha. Yet gatwana nivartande tadhama paramam. So clearly Krishna defines that in the previous source also he was speaking in third person. Tameva chadyam purusham pravadye. That Purusha is Krishna only. Purusha is residing Dhama, which is known as the Golok Vrindavan. Golok Vrindavan is a part, or can say the central part of Vaikuntha planets. Vaikuntha planets are spiritual planets. Spiritual planets comprise of 3/4 of the entire creation, both material and spiritual. And material creation is only 1/4. That is of course for our understanding. 3/4 and 1/4. Tripada Vibhuti and Egapada Vibhuti. So Krishna, Srila Prabhupada here explains this, and Srila Prabhupada, Krishna, because he explains the qualities of this Dhamma, he says that there is no need for Surya there is no need for moon or any electricity or fire, because all these illuminaries bodies like sun and moon, they get their light from Krishna only through the Brahma Jyoti. Why sun is blazing or shining? Because it is getting light from the Brahma Jyoti. The scientists cannot understand why sun is shining. You ask any scientist why the sun is shining, they will say it is shining only. The shine or the light is shining because of light. And where is the light coming from? It is coming from Brahma Jyoti. And where is the Brahma Jyoti coming from? Brahma Jyoti is emanating from the toenails of Krishna. So what is the use, what is the need for sun, moon, etc. in this Golok Vrindavan? It is self-illuminating. It's totally self-illuminating. And it's very pleasant also. Here, whatever, the sun is too much blazing, then you feel very bad. It's too hot. And moon is there, then they'll be cold. So all these facilities which are available in material world are having the counter effects also. Too much light, too much sun means there is hot, too much hot, and you are not comfortable. Too much cold also, you're not comfortable. But in Golok Vrindavan, it's not like that. It's very cool, it's very lighting, everything is very so nice. So Krishna is giving this, and it's as a stimulant, or it is an inspiration for us to leave this miserable world and rush back to our original place. Or at least a place from us we have come. And we are actually the living entities are created by Karnodashaya Vishnu only. And Karnodashaya Vishnu is in the middle, you can say, the bank of where this material world and spiritual world, but essentially in spiritual world, not in material world. But those devotees, those jivas which are Bahirmukha, they came down to this material world, and those who are Sammukha, who is respecting, love for Krishna, they went back to the Golok Vrindavan. So those jivas are residing with Krishna, and that dham is a, and it is our what is the goal of a bonded jiva. Now we are bonded by matter. Nitya Baddha. Why? Because that we explain in the next verse. But once we enter this Krishna Loka, then there is no coming back. That is also given previous verse also. Tadapadam tat parimarge davyam yasmin gada na nivartande bhuya. So from Krishna Loka or Golok Vrindavan, no one will fall down, because we are very happy there. And the best thing is how to achieve this is the previous verse, the qualities are given, and that qualities can be developed in association with devotees only. Like Nirmana Moha, Jida Sangha Dosha, Adhyatmi Nitya, Vinivrittagama, Dandir Vimukta. Now all those qualities, 5-6 qualities which is explained, can be developed in association with devotees by meticulously following the instructions of Krishna, who has very nicely explained in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and through the guidance of a spiritual master. So Shastras, spiritual master, and Vaishnavas are very much required for our development. So we should understand that this is the only way we can get out of this. And Krishna is saying that Paramam Mamam, Tad Dhama Paramam. Parama means it is supreme, which is beyond this material world. So, having explained his loga, and Krishna is now explaining who is this person who has attained this Golok Vrindavan, and that is explained in the next verse. Mame Vamsho Jiva Loge Jiva Bhuta Sanadana Manashashtani Indriyani Pragadistani Karshadi. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Eternal fragmental parts. Due to a conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the 6 senses, which includes the mind. So, jivas are basically part of Krishna only. Sanatana, eternal parts. It's not as if the jivas have broken away from Krishna from one particular time. No, it's not like that. Whenever we say that jivas are come out of Karnodashaya Vishnu is expansion of Krishna only. So originally all these things are contained in Krishna only, and then that has been, what you call, distributed, evolved through various like Chadurviha, Marana forms, and then Mahavishnus. This is structure. So jivas are basically part of Krishna only. And Krishna, all jivas, Krishna, including Krishna, is himself a jiva. Nityo Nityanam, Chedanas Chedanam, Kadomishatsa. Krishna is jiva. Jiva means a living entity. But Krishna is a supreme living entity. And from this supreme living entity, other living entities have been expanded in two categories. One is Swamsha, another is Vibhinamsha. The parts, Amsha means part. So one is a Swamsha, which are basically the Vishnu Tattva expansions of Krishna, which are identical to Krishna in all respect. Like these incarnations, Vamana, Narasimha, Rama, all those incarnations are eternal Swamsha of Krishna in Vishnu Tattva, in the sense that they reside eternally in the Vaikuntha planets. Every one of them have their own Dhamma in the Vaikuntha planets. Every one of them. So many expansions of Narayana forms are so many. Millions and trillions of Narayana forms are there. And every Narayana form has his own Dhamma, eternal Dhamma in the Vaikuntha planets. Vaikuntha planets are so massive, it is beyond our imagination. Even the material world itself is beyond our imagination. Like so many times I've been repeating, Albert Einstein used to say that what is the size of the material world? He said that if you heap all the sands of all the oceans in the whole world, every little particle of sand is a universe. So can you imagine the size of material world? And then if that is mind-boggling, then what to say of Vaikuntha planets? So the Swamshas are eternally situated in their respective Dhammas, and once in a while they descend the earth, and one who descends the earth is called Avatara. And other division is Vibhinamsha. Vibhinamsha, in the sense as it is separated from Krishna. In the sense that although they are part of Krishna, internal potency, it is separate in the sense that they have got a tendency to mix with the external energy of Krishna, come under the sway of the external energy of Krishna. That is why it is called Tadastha Shakti. Another term for Jiva Shakti or Vibhinamsha is called Tadastha. Tadastha means marginal potency. It is the margin, Tadastha. It is there, the Krishna's internal potency is there, Krishna's external potency is there. Although they are part of internal potency, they have an attraction towards the material, the external potency. So that is why it's called Tadastha Shakti and it's called a separate portion, Vibhinamsha. The external potency is actually separated. That Krishna says, Bhumira Ponalo Vayu Kam Mano Buddhirevacha Ahangaramidiyame Bhinna Pragati Ashtada. Bhinna means separated. The external part is separated. Since the Jivas have got a propensity to interact or get under the sway of this external potency, they are also considered margin. Vibhinamsha. And this Vibhinamsha are classified into three: Nitya Siddha, Sadhana Siddha, and Nitya Baddha. Nitya Siddhas are they which are totally who are right from the beginning, they are with Krishna only. They have now come to this material world. And Sadhana Siddhas are those living entities who, after toiling here for hard, and then through their sadhana, realized their eternal position and went back and going back. This is the person who has gone back. Like was one who has come back, who attains Krishna Loka. They're called Sadhana Siddha. And Nitya Baddha, those living entities like us, who are still in this material world, struggling very hard. How struggling? Manashashtan indriyani pragadistani karshadi. Manashashtan indriyani pragadistani karshadi. With 6 senses, 5 senses plus mind. Pragadistani, situated in the Prakriti. Why we got stuck in this world? stuck in this material world? Because our own will only. So every living entities have been endowed with a free will, is called Swecha. Every living entity is an individual soul. Although part of Krishna, Krishna has given him freedom to act on its own. And he has got his Swecha, and the proper use of Swecha determines whether he'll be liberated or whether he'll be bonded. Now, the improper use is means they want to dominate over the material world and ultimately get defeated by material world, kicked by this material world. The desire is to dominate and exploit the material world, but ultimately they get kicked by the material world, this Prakriti. And when they come to senses, after reading the Shastras, reading biographies of sages, liberated sages, like Narada and all sages, and then Ramanacharya, Madhvacharya, and our so many acharyas, and then under guidance of spiritual master Srila Prabhupada, then we can start our journey to get back to Godhead, Srila Prabhupada's famous magazine, yes, back to Godhead, BTG, back to Godhead. So for that, he has to understand these material modes and understand that at the present time, we are dominated by these material modes, and through devotional service only, we can get out of these material modes. So when they are material modes, sattvic mode means, okay, somewhat pleasant. Rajasic means not pleasant, and tamasic means terrible, in the sense they would devolve down to the living a lower species of life, like cats and dogs. But once he's liberated, he can go back to his original position. And Srila Prabhupada is quoting Madhyananda Shruti, Jnana Shruti, and Srimad Bhagavatam also. In two Bhagavatams, it is given Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 15th chapter, verse 14, 3.15.14. Vasadi Tat Purusha, that famous verse is there. There it is given that the liberated souls in Vaikuntha have the forms of Vishnu only. That when the Kumaras are visiting the Vaikuntha planets, they are seeing this. So, the living entity has a spiritual body which he can attain after liberation. So, the Mamai Amsha is very, very significant. Because in some philosophers, like Shankaracharya, will say that this Amsha is a temporary segment which has broken away from Brahman, or segment of Brahman which has been temporarily separated from Brahman. And once this segment as understands the illusory nature of this world, it again merges with Brahman, something like that. That is their philosophy. For that, they are using this the water pot, where you can find the sun. Water pot is there. You can see the reflection of sun. Original sun is there. Reflection is there. Because the water, the sun, the reflection is contained within this pot. When the pot is broken, then this reflection and the original sun becomes the same. But here it is given as eternal. The fragments are eternal. Why do Mayavadis say that is temporary? Because They understand, according to them, fragment means, parts means, pieces means, if the Brahman is fragmented, the original Brahman will no longer exist. It will perish. When a thing is divided into small pieces, like a piece of, like a cloth, or like I said, a sweet, like a sweet is divided into several pieces, or cloth is divided into several pieces, the cloth is no longer existing. That is why they say that is only temporary. This is only illusionary division only. This is not real division. Illusionary division created by Ajnana. But we say it is eternal parts only, because Brahman cannot be divided. It is, we have seen that in Bhagavad Gita second chapter. But they are evolving from Brahman. All the parts, it's part of Brahman only. Like we have this Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purna, Purnamidachire, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnam Evavishishire. So many holes are coming out of one complete hole. Everything are complete in respect. Even though trillions and trillions holes are coming out of this the complete whole, still that remains. Evavishi, it is still remaining. So this the concept of that Brahman, ceasing to exist because of division, is a material idea only, material concept only. In absolute terms, there is nothing like that. Even if you take so many fragments, every amsha, still the whole will remain same. And Krishna is a complete whole, and the jivas are also complete whole. This is very nicely explained in first chapter, first verse of Ishavashamdam Sarvam, in the text, in the Purport Shila Prabhupada explains this very nicely. I mean, the invocation, the invocation itself, that Om Purnamada Purnamidam, that in that verse, he is explaining this. So this is a material concept only, that this is a temporary segment only, but actually it's eternal, and we are eternally part of Krishna, and we remain part of Krishna only. There is no question of merging into Krishna. We are part of Krishna, remaining part of Krishna, and when we go back, we'll be a part of Krishna, because then only we can do our devotional service. Individuality is never lost. Krishna is an individual, soul is also individual, that individuality is never lost. And since we continue to be individual, we can continue to render devotional service even if you go to Golok Vrindavan. That is why bhakti is called eternal. Bhakti is not a process by which once you get liberated, the bhakti comes to an end. No. Bhakti is eternal because it continues even after liberation. Even after we reach that, we are doing the same thing only. So what about this, the bonded jiva, how it is transmigrating through various bodies? That is given the next verse. Shariram yadavatnodi yacchavyukkaramadishvara ghrituitani samyadi vayurgandha vivashaya. The living entity in the material world carries its different conceptions of life from one body to another, as air carries aromas. Now, the living body, the living entity has got the material body. There are three types of bodies: gross body, subtle body, and causal body. The gross body is comprising of the 5 gross elements, the Panchabhutas: ether, air. Nobody is responding. I'm forgetting.
Ether, air, fire, water. Ether, fire, air, water, and ether, fire, air,
Sky.
water.
No.
And earth. Last one, earth.
Earth.
This is subtlest. And next subtle form is air, and then fire, and then water, then earth. These are called the 5 gross elements. So our body is comprising of the gross elements. And then we have these subtle elements. Subtle elements are totally 18 in number. The 18 numbers are 5 types of airs. Udana, Samana,
Prana,
Vyana.
Vayu, Prana, Vayu, Prana, Samana, Apana, Vyana, Udana.
These are the 5 types of airs. And then we have these 5 working senses, 5 knowledge gathering senses, then 1 mind. So 11 plus 5, 16. And then you have 11 plus 5, 16. And then you have this intellect and ahankara. So 18. Now senses, you will find the sense, okay, this gross body got eyes, ears, everything is there, they are senses. But they are only external senses, it's only projections. Actually, senses are subtle sense, subtle form is inside you only. All the senses have got subtle forms which are inside. So these subtle forms are transferred after this, the perishing of this material body, gross body. These subtle senses, along with the senses, along with mind and intellect and ahankara and 5 types of S, they transmigrate to a new body. And the third body is called causal body, which are called imprints. The imprints of so many karmas executed during the so many lifetimes that we have explained. It's called imprints, vasanas. So this vasana also accompanies the soul along with the subtle bodies to a new body, which is determined by the actions done in the previous life. So that's why Sarvyam yat avapnodi yachchavi utkamati ishara. So the living entity, the Ishara means the Lord of the body. No, we are the person, the Lord of the body. So when we leave this body, we transmigrate as a new body, Sharim avapnodi, new body we have. Along with this subtle body and the causal body, exactly like air, which carries so many fragments, aroma only, the aroma, by passing through so many nice things, gardens itself, very nice flowers, very nice smell. If he's passing through some dirty place, muddy place, and another gets that kind of smell. Like that, the air carries with it so many aromas. Exactly like that, we are carrying so many impressions also, along with the subtle body, so many impressions also, which is contained in the causal body, which accompanies the soul when he's residing in the new body. And according to that impressions, you are acting again in the new body. So this is an endless process contained the cycle of birth, old age, disease, and death. And Narada instructs Yudhishthira that this type of body, whether you consider this body itself in or eternal soul or temporary body or a mixture of soul and body, still it is the same only. You should not lament on the loss of body also. In Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 13th chapter, verse 44, that is when Dhritarashtra is leaving to the forest and Yudhishthira is very unhappy because he cannot find Dhritarashtra. And sage Narada comes and instructs, Yan manyase dhruvam logam abhruvam vacha chobhyam sarvada nahi shogaste snehat anyatra mohaja. Yan manyase dhruvam logam adhruvam, whether you find that this eternal soul, eternal, or it is not, is temporary, or ubhayam, both combination of both, sarvada nahi shochete, there is no need to lament. Sneha, because why your affection? Because of affection. Sneha, because of affection towards a person who has passed away. Sneha anyatra moha, and moha means illusion. This sneha is based on illusion only. So we have to understand what has departed is only gross body, and what is remaining is this subtle body and causal body, which accompanies the soul when he enters a new body. And sometimes it takes only a few seconds. When you leave this body, if you have to get eternal, sometimes it takes only a few seconds, sometimes some years, or like when a person goes on death or some bad in sometimes it has to go sometime without bodies. That is called ghosts, and it has to wait until sometime till it gets a new body. But anyway, the new body is obtained whenever you are moving to new body. Along with the new body, it is the subtle body as well as the causal bodies entering and continues the same work, which will be given in the next verse. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So, any clarification? Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Casual body, once again, could you please explain?
Causal body. Causal body
Causal body.
is impressions, vasanas. Like
Impression.
you are doing a lot of karma. Based on karma, you're getting the result. But there is a residual effect. There is a residue. Balance is same. That is called impressions. Like the work you are doing is based on gunas, isn't it? Satoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. And then you are getting the results based on the work you are doing, the actions you are doing. Then that result, the work is exhausted. The result, because we are getting the result, that work is exhausted. But even though it is exhausted, result is you are already taken, but still there is a residual effect. Like we explained, when you melt this butter and you transfer this ghee to another pot, still some residual ghee will be there at the bottom of this vessel which you have used for melting butter. Same way, some result, because that is the impression which again prompts you to do more work. This was explained in the second verse. Karma, that is anusandadani. Mulyani anusandadani karmanubandhini manushaloge. The secondary roots of this tree are considered the impressions or the vasanas. This is the impressions which again prompts you to do that in the modes you are there in previous life. So that impression is contained in the causal body, which accompanies the soul. That's called the causal body. That's all.
Thank you.
Right. You can render this
Okay, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu. Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlad Laddaine Hiranyakashi Porvakshaha Shilatanka Nakalai Ito Nasimha Parato Nasimho Yato Yamitato Nasimha Bahi Nasimho हृदये नसिमो नरसिंहम् मदिं शरणां प्रपदे तव करकमलवरे नाकाम् अल्बुदशृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नाराहरि जय नाराहरि जय नाराहरि जय नाराहरि जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि 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 बोल उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणभद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युं नमामहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणभद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमामहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणभद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमामहम् श्रीनरसिंह जय जय श्रीनरसिंह प्रह्लादेश जय पद्ममुख पद्मभृङ्ग श्रीनरसिंह जय जय श्रीनरसिंह प्रह्लादेश जय पद्ममुख पद्मभृङ्ग हरे
शुद्ध भक्ति
कृष्ण
हरे कृष्णा शुद्ध भक्ति विनाशकारी श्री नरसिंह देव भगवान की
जय
जय
शेष पड़ा महाराज की
जय
जय
गो प्रेमानंदे
हरि हरि बोल
हरे हरे
पंचाकल्प
कृष्ण
पंचकल्पतरुश्च
वासुदेव सदानंद भावने को वैष्णव
वैष्णवी
नमः
प्रणोर
बड़ी वैष्णव की जय
जय
श्री राम भगवान की जय
जय
हरि बोल